Hi guys, Ben from My Cycling Coach. I hope you're doing well and that you had a fantastic weekend. So I just wanted to do a quick video on the page this afternoon, as after the live I did on Saturday morning, I got quite a few questions on fueling for high intensity workouts and FTP tests. So I just wanted to do a real simple breakdown of maybe some tips on how to best fuel for these high intensity sessions and testing sessions. And the most simple way to look at it is your pre, during and post fueling for these sessions or tests that you're doing. So any high intensity workout or FTP test is obviously going to require you to work and tax the anaerobic energy system. So it's really important that you fuel efficiently to support that work that you're going to be doing. And because it is going to be of that high intensity nature, it's really important that we fuel with the right amount of carbohydrate to support that energy system and the high intensity work that you're going to be performing. So for pre-fueling, for an hour's high intensity session, maybe on the turbo or an FTP test, I would look by starting with your pre-ride meal, and that would probably, it's best to start that meal 2 to 3 hours, or have that meal 2 to 3 hours before you start your session or test. This does sort of rely on personal preference with eating and when you find it best to eat prior to your session, but 2 to 3 hours generally is when you want to be looking at taking on your pre-ride meal. And as I say, you should be really trying to focus on this in this pre-ride meal. We want to be trying to take on the complex carbohydrates. So they're what is known as maybe the more starchy carbohydrates. So there's things as like potatoes, pasta, wholemeal breads. The sort of more starchy based carbs as they're known. And really, if it's going to be an hour-long session, you want to be aiming for at least 1 gram of carbohydrate per kilo of your body weight. So to give you a bit of an idea how much that is, a medium-sized potato is around 40 grams of carbohydrate. So let's say if you weigh around 80 kilos, you want to be trying to consume maybe around 2 medium-sized potatoes. Obviously, if you're having other things with this meal, I don't know, it might be a jacket potato with something else on it, some salad, or I don't know, beans, tuna. It's a good pre-ride meal because you're getting a mix of both carb and protein in there. In the other things you're adding to that potato, there's going to be carbs as well. But just to give you an idea, a medium-sized potato is around 40 grams of carbohydrate. So if you then have that's your pre-ride meal. You want to be trying to take that on 2 to 3 hours before the session, so you've got time to allow it to digest. I would then be looking at closer to the session. You may feel that you need to just top up stores a little bit, and this is where you want to be trying to take on more of the simple base carbohydrates. So they're known as the more sugary based carbs. And you can do this in the form of an energy bar maybe that's got a little bit higher sugar content in there. There's obviously gels and stuff out there. And these are the sorts of things that I may be looking to take half an hour to an hour before you then start that high intensity session or test. This is just going to allow you to boost carbohydrate stores, muscle glycogen levels, to really then make sure that you're fueled and you've got enough energy to actually go in and perform that test or session. During the session then, if you followed those sort of pre-meals before the session, because it's only going to be an hour long, if you fueled efficiently, you should really be able to get away with just having water on the bike. But you can, if you want, add a sort of carb mix into your bottle, just to, again, as you go through that session, if you're feeling low, you can then just top up glycogen stores, carbohydrate stores a little bit to just keep your energy levels up as you go through that high intensity workout or FTP test. Then going after the session, so post-session fueling, if it's of a high intensity nature, that workout, and obviously the FTP test, they are hard work and are really going to, deplete muscle glycogen, and there will be some damage to muscle tissue in there. So it's really important, I'd say, within 20 to 30 minutes of getting off the bike or finishing your workout or test, that you look at trying to get some real good high quality protein in. This can be just done in the form of a decent whey protein shake, 20 to 30 minutes after your test. That's just going to really help initiate that recovery and rebuilding of muscle, that process after getting off the bike. And as I say, muscle glycogen will be depleted, so you may then want to also look at taking on a bit of carbohydrate. Again, you know, if you are really depleting stores, the more sugary, so simple based carbs, they're going to be ones that you maybe want to take closer to your session, because it will get into the blood quicker and you will feel like you're just getting your energy levels back up quicker after the session. And then later on, maybe within an hour, you then want to start looking at having your post-ride meal, which again will then be the more maybe complex-based carbs. So yeah, guys, got a few questions on that on the live on Saturday. Just thought I'd do a little simple breakdown again there of pre, during and post-ride fueling for an hour high-intensity workout or an FTP test. I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, let me know. Please feel free to drop a like on this post, follow, share, subscribe. And if you found it useful, any comments, would love to hear from you. Cheers, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your riding and speak to you soon.